The State of the Union, I know, Snorefest, Crazy Fest. I'm actually surprised on how it all turned out. You see a couple of moments of senior citizens acting senile, especially when Nancy did this. He was doing this.
I thought this was like her impression of a horse.
She's got
hooves, you guys.
Hooves! Hey, you can't fight him. He's got hooves. There you go. But no, here is the crazy part of this, and that is the speech is being praised by everyone who has blue check marks, but there are some takeaways from this. So I want to read just a few excerpts from The Hill, of course. First one was, obviously, let's face it, the conflict in Ukraine, what's going on. Biden claims Western unity as a victory over Putin. Now, the thing is, there's a lot to take away from Biden's speech, but let's look at the real Bruce of what's happening right now. The United States helped instigate this fight with Russia that's happening in Ukraine right now, and this was even before 2014. This whole idea of Western unity, Russia and every other country was paying attention when the United States invaded Iraq in 2003, and in 2014 when the United States spent $5.5 billion for a coup in Ukraine, helped instigate this madness even further. So this whole idea of unity right now, this is something that no one in their right mind should walk into. In fact, I'm willing to bet a vast majority of populace all across this planet are right now angered how both sides led this madness to happen. And there's a lack of accountability. This whole idea that there's going to be this great unifying moment. Every minute this war goes on, it will go. There's a potential of it going nuclear. And I think we all can agree. We don't want that to happen.
No.
Another thing to take away is, hold on. The Bidens, I get it. I get it, I get it, I get it. Just like, remember how you said, I get it about sexual harassment and abuse towards women? Like, I get it, I get it. I get it on inflation.
Women.
No, on inflation, though, this time around.
Yeah.
So,
he's like, I understand the math. It makes your money worth less. It took me 10 hours.
Yes. So, here it is, Biden saying, I get it. With the words Biden's used to address one of the most pressing challenges he faces, inflation. The president sought to make sure that voters struggling with surging prices did not believe he was leaving them to their fate, even though he is. Americans are still being evicted from their homes.
It's like a technicality. It's like, I'm not actually in charge, so I can't give you anything.
Yeah, so there we go. Biden also heralds a new COVID-19 dawn cautiously. Well, let's face it. We're going to have to live with COVID-19. Here's the thing. This little virus knocked the living crap out of humanity. No country was prepared. We got a firm slap in the face from this, and we have to learn to live with it. But all this fear and propaganda, breathe it in. You're probably breathing in.
Can I just say, if there's one thing I do have to, because we have to be fair and balanced, for us say that's good about Putin, he single-handedly ended the pandemic.
Oh.
No one's talking about it anymore.
No, wait. The quote Forrest Gump. And just like that, stop talking about COVID. And just like that, they stopped talking about COVID.
It's also amazing that the mask mandate ended a day before that speech.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing it worked out that way. Definitely not
It's incredible. It's incredible. Biden also was talking about how he's going to challenge the GOP. Even though, let's face it, the Republicans are probably going to be walking into a red wave.
He can't even challenge his own party.
Yeah. And then Biden also mentioned high emotions and deep divisions. Well, no duh. Everyone's emotional because everyone's broke. Everyone's struggling. And we have a two-party system that's more than willing to abandon us. So first, I want to pull up this first video right here if we can. Now, before we play it, I want everyone to understand. It's going to be repeating itself, but I want to give a shout out to Fiorella Isabel of the Convo Couch, and they clipped this moment. And the thing is, this is Biden screws up Ukraine and Iran, and I just want everyone to zoom. We're going to see Kamala Harris's face, and it's just absolutely priceless. And in fact, you know what? I wanted to repeat it twice, so the video will play it twice around, but so everyone can hear it. Let's play it.
Like some of you that have been around for a while, I've worked with you on these issues for a long time. I know what works. Investigating crime prevention.
We can pause it for a second? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. This is Biden talking about not defunding the police. Let me correct it. This video is Biden talking about not defunding the police. but instead funding them, funding the police, and just
they need more money.
They need more money.
Obvi.
All right, let's play it. Let's play it.
Cops who walk the beat, who know the neighborhood, and who can restore trust and safety. Let's not abandon our streets or choose between safety and equal justice. Let's come together and protect our communities, restore trust, and hold law enforcement accountable. That's why the Justice Department has required body cameras, banned chokeholds, and restricted no-knock warrants for its officers. That's why the American Rescue Plan that you all provided $350 billion that cities, states, and counties can use to hire more police, invest in more proven strategies.
Clap, sheep, clap.
Proven strategies like community violence interruption, trusted messengers, breaking the cycle of violence and trauma, and giving young people some hope. We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police, it's to fund the police. Fund them. Fund them.
They have no money. It's half of most local budgets.
Fund them with resources and training. Resources and training they need to protect our communities.
The training. Okay.
I ask Democrats and Republicans alike to pass my budget and keep our neighborhoods safe. And we'll do everything in my power to crack down on gun trafficking, of ghost guns that you can buy online, assemble at home, no serial numbers, can't be traced. I ask Congress to pass proven measures to reduce gun violence. Pass universal background checks. Why should anyone on the terrorist list be able to purchase a weapon? Why? Why? Ban assault weapons with high-capacity magazines that hold up to 100 rounds.
All right, let's pause it.
You think the deer?
All right, because pretty much when we talk about banning assault weapons, how many times does Congress try and do that and they fail miserably?
Yeah.
And remember Barack Obama's infamous speech: "The people at Sandy Hook deserve a vote. Everyone else deserves a vote. All the victims deserve a vote." And nothing fundamentally changed.
Nope.
So let's switch things up and go to our next video. Because before we do get up our next video, though, here is the issue with Biden making that statement about funding the police. There is a lack of accountability across the nation when it comes down to stopping police violence. And the thing is, look, we do need people to protect our communities. We do need, obviously, laws to hold villains and bad guys accountable when they commit a crime. When you commit a crime, yes, there must be people there to stop that. But the system we have just doesn't work. Daniel Upker and I, in 2018, went ahead and covered the Exoneration Project, where 15 black men were exonerated for crimes they didn't commit because of 4 corrupt Chicago police officers. It was surprising, but you know what what our takeaway from that was? How many other police officers did that to other individuals? How many other individuals like those 15 black men are behind bars or could be or could be looking at time behind bars for crimes they didn't commit? Again, lack of accountability. It's the same Joe Biden who's never apologized for the crime bill. Bill Clinton apologized for it, air quote. But even if Bill Clinton can do his apology, Biden has not once ever apologized.
Did he apologize for it while he had any power to do anything?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. There you go.
He said he did the right thing.
Yeah. So there we go.
Doubled down.
Yeah.
He's like, all those bills I did, they were wonderful.
Yeah, there we go. So let's pull up this next video. Now, this one's going to be funny. Again, now shout out to Fiorella Isabel at the Convo Couch. They were able to capture this gem moment. The video will repeat itself. I wanted to play it twice, but it's just the look on Kamala's face is just priceless because Biden just really screwed up here.
Yeah, it was a big gaffe.
Let's play it.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
Look at her face.
And he will never weaken the resolve of the free world. Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
Like,
He'll never.
Pause it right here. Pause it. Right there, it's like, oh my God. Like, she heard it, and it's just like, oh no, you didn't take your brain medicine, Joe. You didn't take your brain medicine.
Take your brain medicine.
So there we go.
That's amazing. I have a comment, but it's not substantive at all. So go ahead, Daniel, and then I'll make.
Oh no, mine was even less substantive.
Okay, so Kira and then Daniel. Kira, go.
You do your first, and then you can tell me whether or not yours is above or below what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, mine's. Okay, so Mark and I were having a debate during the State of the Union last night.
Oh, yeah? And really? I would pay money for this.
I was really, like, surprised. I'm so shallow. I was really surprised at how bad Kamala's outfit was. And, Mark was like, oh, she's trolling. She's trolling with that outfit. And I was like, no, I don't know. Anyway, no substance to that comment.
Okay, that is your opinion.
Whatsoever.
That is your
Ready
opinion.
for mine now?
Oh, God, here we go.
So, you know what Kamala was thinking in that moment? Joe, you did so much better on Joe Rogan's Alpha Brain. I don't know why we switched off that for political reasons. You don't know what you're saying anymore.
Yeah.
I also want to read a YouTube super chat from Colin Radix Carter. Biden wants to fund the police to protect the elites in the events the poors rise up, which will hopefully will be sooner than never.
I love that most of their experience with having to deal with not being safe is being safe and surrounded by guards when people went into a building that they weren't in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Blazer 101 says, "Give Biden a break, Jack. It was past his bedtime." You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's a really great point, Daniel, because
my alpha brain point.
That one.
big brain tactic, right
just
there.
as good as my outfit comment. But no, that's a really good point, and so the irony of that, let's get more police is just so obvious.
You know what we should do? I suggest we should start sending American police to Ukraine because they're just civilians according to our laws. So we're not sending military troops in.
All right, why not?
But they're going to be about as useful as civilians with guns. So,
but I do want to switch things up because there's a lot of comments there were two responses from Biden's State of the Union, and I want to acknowledge them. The first one was from Rashida Tlaib. The second one was from the GOP. So Rashida Tlaib. We're going to just play a few minutes of this one. You can watch it in its full entirety in our show notes in the description box below. But the first 5 minutes in, it is not passionate. It's lukewarm. And, well, let's play it.
I have been taking care of people all my life. My service in Congress is guided by my roots. That's why I'm committed to standing up for our communities that just want the opportunity to thrive. In the richest country in the world, it shouldn't be this hard for so many to have a good life. Tonight, I am proud to deliver a response on behalf of the Working Families Party. The Working Families Party is a voice for the multiracial working class, fighting for a nation that cares for all of us. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm also part of the Working Families Party because I believe that our government...
I just love that. It's I'm a lifelong Democrat, insert specific party name, but I'm also insert other party that's not the Democratic Party.
The Working Families Party, do they just endorse people or do they run people?
They're actually ironically super connected to the Democratic Party. When the last election happened, it was between them, Socialist Alternative, and what was the other one? The other socialist group?
DSA.
The socialist groups actually won a lot more candidates, and the Working Families Party, if anything, stole from the other progressive groups and really accomplished nothing. Mm-hmm. And we're basically in New York under the thumb of Cuomo. Yeah, and also let's remember this is the same Workers' Family Party in 2016 and in 2020 that would not endorse Bernie Sanders. So, yeah. And real quick, so Wendy's saying, where was the Green Party response? They probably thought the thing was happening today and they're going to do it today. Yeah, Green Party's... They got to get their stuff together. Yeah, they do. Let's play it.
Must put the needs of working families first. In difficult times, we must never lose sight of each other's humanity. 2 years ago, we couldn't have imagined a pandemic that has taken nearly 1 million lives here at home and nearly 6 million across the world. It also threw tens of millions of Americans, our neighbors, out of work, and it exposed our inhumane, profit-driven healthcare system as our essential workers were pushed to the breaking point and hospitals ran out of beds. When President Biden took office just over a year ago, he took action. He started getting shots in arms. He acted quickly to deliver emergency relief. Congress approved direct relief checks. We helped our working parents. We stopped evictions. We sent resources to our schools and our local and state.
Stop. First of all, the beginning of the vaccines happened under Trump. I know that's going to offend Vote Blue no matter who, but that's a fact. Number 2, the evictions are still ongoing.
Yeah, I was confused by that commentary also.
Still ongoing. I'm still seeing people here in the city of Chicago being evicted. That's not only here in Chicago, that's nationwide. I'm hearing stories about it. It's still ongoing. Don't give me that BS that you're stopping evictions when AOC and Cori Bush did a little live stream saying how they had to run to stop Nancy Pelosi from adjourning Congress. Oh yeah, and they did that infamous sit down in front of the Capitol building. Yeah, nothing happened. People are still being evicted. Shout out to Frank Analysis, who actually captured that gem moment when he was saying, nothing happened, and then AOC and Cori Bush said, let's try some music, and there we go. So, anyways, Frank Analysis, keep doing the great work. And then another thing, too, about the stimulus checks. We're promised $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we got $1,400. Hey, audience, maybe I'm wrong. We're going to have some democracy in the chat. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Okay? Do you think the Democrats, if you think the Democrats were fair with the stimulus checks, type 1 in the chat. If you think that the Democrats swindled us and lied to us about that $2,000, type 2. Now, I want to move on now to the GOP's response, but go ahead, Daniel.
So people were mentioning in chat that the Green Party did do a response on the poorly named, what was it, Green Party video channel.
That is a god-awful name.
That's a bad name. What was it? Someone had it written exactly.
Whoever wrote that, can you please rewrite it again? I think it's even
worse that they did it, and most of us weren't even aware.
No, that's really bad. That's really, really not good.
Where was it? Green Party.
Especially considering how much many of us pay attention to.
Yeah, like we do a lot of the Green Party, and it's like, if they were just slightly more organized, and by slightly I mean any amount, it would make a huge difference. It's like the Green Party needs to stop being the party of, hey, can we do an interview, reach out to your candidates? 2 months later, oh yeah, sure, we'd love to talk to you about our candidates. Well, the election's almost done, so we might not have time anymore. Green Party, that's the Green Party.
Yeller says Green Party Videos channel.
Yeah, that is. But a great name. That's branding 101.
That is a
branding 101.
Hold on. I'm going to make a controversial statement before we go back to the story, but even the libertarians can come up with better names. Okay? Really? No. What? We've covered libertarians.
Say something good about libertarians.
The Libertarian Party. I mean, the Libertarian Party had enough put together to get us to do their gubernatorial debate. The Green Party's like, what?
Yeah. What? The Green Party didn't even have a candidate for the 2018.
Well, we won't talk to you unless you're a television station that will let us on anyway. I don't get it. Why is no one interviewing us?
Yeah, I'll never forget that when I tried to offer to do an independent media an independent third party kind of debate. Only Mark Charles was the only one that responded back.
I love that when they do that. They're like, well, we're planning to get on TV with the Democrats and Republicans that we never get on.
Yes. So
we won't try and do anything else.
Speaking of funny, let's bring up this person. She is a governor there to speak for the GOP. This first video, someone's iPhone's going off in the background. Hey, when we do our show, we make sure mute your freaking phones.
Yeah.
Let's play
Turn off your ringer.
Turn off your ringer. Let's play it.
Good evening. I'm Kim Reynolds, Governor of the great state of Iowa. Like you, I just watched the President's address. Good evening. I'm Kim Reynolds, Governor of the great state of Iowa.
Ding, ding, ding.
Like you, I just watched the President's
to her
address.
for just
going on through
completely moving through it though.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Jessica says Avon lady. That's awesome.
Okay, but she has some opinions to say. Obviously, she does look like the Avon lady, though. But who are we to make fun of her? Whatever.
We make fun of everybody.
Yeah, we do. So there we go. Let's face it. You know, Democrat, Republican, you're going to get smacked in the mouth.
She's doing it that way, and she's just going through. She's like, I don't have time for this. I have to pick up Jeremy at soccer after this.
Yeah. and those kids better not be doing anything on TikTok when I get there. So there we go. All right, let's play this next video where she is calling out the Biden administration. Let's play it.
It's time for America to once again project confidence. It's time to be decisive. It's time to lead. But we can't project strength abroad if we're weak at home. And that's what I want to discuss with you tonight. The President and Democrats in Congress have spent the last year either ignoring the issues facing Americans or making them worse. They were warned that spending trillions would lead to soaring inflation. They were told that their anti-energy policies...
I'm going to fact check her in real time. Inflation isn't because poor people have some amount of money to spend. Inflation is mostly corporations increasing the price because they can call it inflation.
That's right. And supply lines right now are a huge portion of that. So, yeah.
So she was kind of right there, just for a minute. Like, Biden administration's ignoring domestic issues. You were so close.
I know. I was just writing. Sometimes I feel like conservatives get so close. We can't be strong abroad if we're weak at home. And then she just steps into a load of malarkey. I almost said the BS word. So I actually started out my notes when I was at home. Kim Reynolds is either a liar or dumb.
Yeah.
Or both. Or she's just...
both can be true at the same time.
This is the thing that Republicans are like, everything's bad because... And if the answers are the choice between something to do with rich people being at fault or something to do with the poorest and least powerful people being at fault, it always happens to be the least powerful people that have the most impact and the most powerful people that have no control. It's amazing.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think she goes on to talk about gas prices and a bunch of BS around that as well.
Let's actually play
As you know, giving people $600, I mean, that's what caused gas to be $8 a gallon.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what would be her statement if Donald Trump was successful and actually
if Donald Trump had succeeded with this exact same checks, if he'd gotten those checks, that should have been like, what a great idea. The inflation was cast off. It would have been so much worse. But because we gave all these people this money, it's fine. And
I want to just say, again, look, in order of reference, point of reference, during the first stimulus check, Trump, we don't know how true this would have been, was pushing a piece of legislation that would have like a continuous stimulus check for the next 10 months, right?
Yeah, he was.
And the person that stopped it was Nancy. Now we'll never know if Trump was really authentic about that, but the Democrats wrote about that.
Nancy did not want his name on checks going to people. It was all political.
It was all political. Let's play the rest of this.
Americans are tired of a political class trying to remake this country into a place where an elite few tell everyone else what they can and cannot say, what they can and cannot believe. They're tired of people pretending the way to end racism is by categorizing everybody by their race. They're tired of politicians who tell parents they should sit down, be silent, and let government control their kids' education and future. Frankly, they are tired of the theater, where politicians do one thing when the cameras are rolling and another when they believe you can't see them. Where governors and mayors enforce mandates but don't follow them. Where elected leaders tell their citizens to stay home while they sneak off to Florida for sun and fun. Where they demand that your child wear a mask, but they go maskless. So you've heard the excuses. They were just holding their breath. But it's the American people who are waiting to exhale, waiting for the
Kim Reynolds
to stop.
Right to the left.
God, all of the responses were just lackluster. Where the hell is your energy? Do some coke before you get on camera or something.
I know. So
OMG.
So to be fair, we won't play the last video, but I just want everyone to understand. I want everyone to understand, like, as a final note for this, and I'm pretty sure Kira and Daniel, you got your comments on here too. The State of the Union, nothing really was addressed. The American people are still being abandoned. There's a war that's taking place that could possibly signal the end of our species. Let's be very clear about that. And we have so many domestic issues happening here. Neither the Democratic or Republican parties will help us out. They're okay with abandoning us. And until the people step up and say no more, until we start building movements and organizations outside of the swamp bubble of D.C., nothing will change. State of the Union's always going to be the same, no matter who is president or who controls the House and Senate. The only people who will win will be corporations. Daniel and Kira, any other final notes?
I mean, I'm just going to kind of reiterate a note that we said earlier is so frequently I feel like conservatives, right wing, they get so close and then they just take a complete left turn from reality. So close. When she's talking about I mean, I thought the point that she made about even racism was they think the way to get rid of racism is to compartmentalize everybody into their race, So basically I think she's alluding to identity politics with that, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a really strong statement. But then she just goes on and it's yeah, but how do we address racism? Racism is systemic. And until people start to understand that it's the systems that create racism and racist policy, we're never going to get anywhere with that. Mm-hmm. So she just says, this is bad, but I don't actually have any solutions. Or my solution is, her solution, she probably has a solution, is probably completely different from mine.
To decrease the income tax on people making over $500,000 a year.
Right, exactly. Stuff like that. So, I think that they get close. And I think that that's by design, right? Because she's going to say something that gets the ear of, say, someone like me, who maybe is not paying a lot of attention to the news, right? And I might say, wow, I really do agree with that sentiment. I must be a Republican, right? So I think that they get close like that on purpose.
I was just thinking the way you're saying it. It's Republicans are really good at memeing their way into talking points.
Boom. Yes.
And it's it's they have all the right starts to all the questions that we would have. They have just the exact opposite answers. And Democrats sometimes have close answers, but their question is wrong. Mm-hmm. And it's no one's doing it anyway because you need both sides of that to happen. And so when I hear her go through all those things, all I'm listening to your point is it's tasked for people that are kind of half listening to it. Mm-hmm. But it's also dog whistling all the way. She's literally putting out memes that have happened in the last year that were on Fox News or OAN or somewhere else that Republicans, when she says, goes to Florida to get the sun, it's they all know, I know exactly what she's talking about because that was a thing that they was on their news cycle for a whole week. It was that AOC went to Florida and was definitely a hypocrite. And it's all they have to do with the entire, the pandemic special is just keep seeding, hey, these people are hypocrites. Mm-hmm. They don't have to say anything. Notice she said nothing about, here's what the Republicans would do in terms of the pandemic. It's just, look at how bad the Democrats are and how they handle that.
Which is a similar game the Democrats play with Republicans. Yeah. It's the only way they can get elected is demonizing the other party, which is why the duopoly, this is how it's always going to work with only two parties.
And that's why they will never bail you out. So, listen, if you know anyone who's diehard Republican red or vote blue no matter who, try and help deprogram them because, let's face it, no matter who's in power, nothing will change.
Do you know what's ironic? In terms of primary colors, we need to make a yellow party because it's the antithesis of the Democrat and Republican party.
The Libertarians got that color.
Oh, are they yellow?
Well, technically it's gold. It's gold.
Oh, well, that's not yellow. That's gold. It's a very different color.
Yeah. All right.
So
anyway,
we need to make a party that's yellow.
Yeah.
And one last note. I'm just going to say it again because not to toot my own horn, but I was, state champ for speech in Iowa. Come on, liven up when you're doing something, especially as vital as trying to move a population in a direction. You gotta bring some fire, people. That's
fire. There you go.
That's the Republican red. Fire red.
There you go.